Okay, in this video, we'll be talking about how to solve rational equations. Now, a rational equation is any equation which involves one or more rational expressions, i.e. fractions. The easiest way to solve a rational equation is to multiply both sides by the least common denominator of all the terms. So for example, let's try solving both of these equations by multiplying by the least common denominator. With this one, the least common denominator is 12, whereas over here, the least common denominator would be x squared minus 4, because we see that x minus 2 times x plus 2, when we do that out, we have x minus 2 times x plus 2. If we expand that out by FOILing, we end up with x squared minus 4. Okay? So if we multiply all of this, and we notice that these all fall in here, so it is the least common denominator. Here, if we multiply both sides by 12, we get 12 times x over 3 plus 3x over 4 equals 2 times 12. When we do that, the 12 and the 3 in this term, so you actually have to expand this out. So the 12 is multiplied by all of this. The 12 will distribute. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we end up with 4x here. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 and 3 is 9. And here we have 24 on this side. So we actually have 4x plus 9x is 13x equals 24. Divide both sides by 13, and we end up with x equals 24 over 13. Kind of ugly. Let's make sure that that's actually a solution. So check. Checking here, we actually have that. Plugging in, we have 24 over 13 over 3. And we have plus 3 times 24 over 13 over 4, equals what? Well, 24 over 13 is the same thing as 1/3 times 24 over 13, which plus 3/4 times 24 over 13. If we do cancellation here, we end up with the 4 and the 24 will cancel. 4 times, that will leave us 6 in the top and a 1 in below. Here they'll cancel and we'll have a 8 up top and a 1 below. So we have 8 over 13 plus, so 8 over 13 plus 6 times 3 is 18 over 13. 18 plus 8 is 26 over 13, which equals 2. So this is actually the solution. Over here, if we multiply both sides by the LCD, what we end up with is x. So here, when we multiply this side by it, what we end up with is the x minus 2 and the x minus 2 would cancel, and we'd have an x plus 2 left over there. Here, the x minus 2, the x plus 2s would cancel, and we'd have 3 times x minus 2. And then finally here, all of the x squared minus 4 would cancel, and so we would end up with 6x. Expanding this out, we have x plus 2 equals 3x minus 6x. So we actually have x plus 2 equals 3x minus, so 3x minus 6x is negative 3x minus 6. Let's add 3x to both sides and subtract 2 from both sides. We do that, those cancel, I get negative 8 here. Those cancel, I get 4x. So I get 4x equals negative 8. In other words, x equals negative 2 is a solution. However, let's go ahead and check it. I'm going to try to squeeze the check right into here. So check. All right. Plugging in x equal negative 2 into all of this, I get 1 over negative 2 minus 2 should equal 3 over negative 2 plus 2 minus 6 times negative 2 over negative 2 minus 4. However, what we're going to notice here, and I'll circle this in purple to make it really clear, this is a division by 0. This creates something called an extraneous solution, which is a solution that doesn't actually solve. It's some extra solution which doesn't actually solve the equation. Well, since that was our only solution, we actually claim that this has no solution. Okay? So that's a bit about how extraneous solutions work. This is why you really need to always check whenever you work a problem. Now let's have you go ahead and work a problem. So go ahead and solve the following equations and check your solutions. On the count of 3, I'll reveal the answer. 1, 2, 3. So, this gives a clearer example. The LCD in this one is 9. The LCD over here is x minus 4. But, so what do we actually do? What we do is we multiply both sides by the 9. The 9 and the 9 will cancel there. The 9 divided by 3 is 3. The 9 goes through there, and the 9 cancels with the 3 there, and you get an extra 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Then you go through and you solve normally and get negative 18 over 5. This is a solution because when you plug it back in, you find that both sides equal negative 29 over 15. Over here, however, when you multiply both sides by the LCD, which is x minus 4, you end up with, the x minus 4 cancels here, you get 3x. Here it goes through, so you got to multiply 5 by the x minus 4, but here it cancels and you just get 12. Going through and solving this equation, you end up with x equals 4 as your only solution. However, there actually is no solution because x equals 4 is extraneous. It's extraneous because plugging 4 back into the original gives you 0 in the denominator, which means that which you can't have. In other words, your one and only solution is extraneous, so there's no solution. For more practice and working with rational equations, be sure to see page A56 of the textbook and work numbers 2 and 13 through 24. And in our next video, I'll start talking about how to solve quadratic equations.